Yahuba Guamarocati. Saleko Cacona Guabohio. Guarico, Araco e la Rocco e la Cigano. Guarico, Araco e la Rocco e Coromo. Guarico, Araco e la Rocco e Racuno. Guarico, Araco e la Rocco e Ovaico. Ataveira. Yaya Guature. Saleko Cacona, Guaraguao, Guabohio. So it's always good in a good way to pray with tobacco, you know. That's kind of like the way I do things. I like to bless myself like that, and whatever I'm working with at that moment. Tobacco is the plant that I work with. Welcome to my Bohio, little humble home here. Kind of like art studio / home, you know, wherever I can paint, I paint. Different rooms in the house, whatever it is. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Roman Guaraguaorix Perez, and I am a Taino from the Caribbean, in particular the island of Quisqueya, what they call the Dominican Republic. And I was born there, came here, and when I was about 5 years old. So pretty much raised here in Brooklyn, and my story is a little bit of finding out who I am today, you know, through my ancestors and my people. I always seen some things at home that identify with my people, and today I know who I am as a Taino person, and give thanks to my grandparents and my mom and my family. You know, they're able to go back home and get in touch with the culture. But here's where it started, you know, doing the research and learning about Native Americans, but not knowing about my identity until somebody asked me, what is your identity? Who are you? What nation are you from? And I realized then that it was much bigger. And I started doing the research, and I went back home and talked to my grandparents and my mom. And I was able to get some information that could tie it together. I've done a lot of work in this on myself and this Red Road, as we call it, you know, Taino, Red Road, the Native Ways, the Movimiento Taino, 1992, the quincentennial of Columbus. A lot of people woke up, and a lot of people started identifying, and the seeds were planted in the Taino way. And since that time, you know, I've been part of this movement and different activities. In particular, you know, I want to get down to the point of where I am today as an artist. My art, I started painting. I've only been painting for several years in 2010. And like I said, I come from the Caribbean, and so, you know, the painting about Taveira, you know, Taveira, she's there giving birth to the earth. She represents the Earth Mother. And she is matriarch to us, and you know, so I painted, I seen this vision of her coming from real far away and bringing all these symbols of the Samis and different symbols with her to our people. So that's what that painting represents for me, you know. And moving right along, you know, this is painting here in the bottom, which you see is represents our Taino cosmology, you know, and it goes down from the celestial sky to the earth plane and down to the waters, you know. And that's what you see in the center there is the tree of life. And there's somebody in the center going through a funerary scene and going through that evolution of infinity and going back, and the whole process starts again. So these paintings, like the one above, you know, it's vision that I've had. You know, I've seen that vision. I've seen that vision with the hawk coming down, and seeing myself in the cave. You know, and I'll touch on that in a minute. You know, because that's a healing painting. All these paintings are healing for myself, and it is something that I work with a tobacco plant. As you see at the bottom, those tobacco plants. That's the medicine that I work with. So I incorporate it in some of my paintings. Remember my ancestors and my grandfather in particular, Carmito, which worked with the tobacco. And we're going over to the left, you know, there's growing up here in the U.S. and being in touch with northern natives and Native Americans from up in this area. This represents the sweat lodge, Inipi. In Taino we call it a Kamsi or Wanara. And it's a place of healing. And you can see there all the different symbols of different horoscopes and petroglyphs, and the water is being poured onto the stones, and it's kind of like we're just taking off into the universe. You know, the whole sweat lodge is moving. It's painted with glow-in-the-dark paint, which will glow when you shut the light off. So this is one of my latest pieces that I've worked on, and I'm really proud of it. You know, that picture over there in the corner is not a painting of me, but I wanted to show you that because that's my grandma. You know, it's because of her that I found, you know, a lot about what I am today and finding that out. You know, you know, there's art throughout my home that comes from different artists and different people. This piece here in particular is a duho. And this duho, it's like a throne or a ceremonial seat where the cacique, which is the chief, or the bejique, the medicine person, sat on when they're doing the ceremony. And so this was my first painting in 2010, when I didn't know that I could paint. And it's really interesting how, you know, since then, you know, I continue to work and incorporate, you know, the hummingbird and different medicine totems for people, the tobacco plant again. But back then in 2010, I became physically ill, you know, physically handicapped. And at that point, a good friend of mine brought me to a store, an art shop, and bought me this little easel right here, and some canvases and paint, and he suggested that I paint, you know, that it was a way for me to get some therapy and be able to move my hands, which was very weak at the time. So a lot of these paintings that you see, they are done at a time where there was a lot of weakness in my life, you know, physically. And it was a struggle. It takes a long time for me to do a painting at that time, you know. Now I'm much more comfortable and got a lot of healing through art. And a lot of these expressions of these paintings were able to, for me to do even more work with delicate things, such as feathers. And you know, so I also, besides painting with different mediums, such as acrylics and different stuff on canvas, and some of these paintings as well, they have where I put, like I like to just zoom back into that first painting that I did over there for a second, because if you see the ground on that painting, that has a combination of tobacco and sage. The small one over there has sand. So I also put water, you know, sacred water that I pray over. Which, like right here, I have this bottle of water here that this water has been prayed over by Mayan elders and Taino elders, and I use this water in the mix. So all the paintings are done in a spiritual way. I consider myself a painter, I guess a spiritual painter, you know, an artist. And I work with feathers, and feathers are very sacred. Feathers come from the winged ones, you know, and the winged birds are the ones that carry our prayers to the Creator. So when we pray with these feathers, it's something that we're able to connect directly with the great mystery. And as we you know, use these feathers for smudging, this fan here is the first fan that I made, and you know, it's a work in progress, and I continue to work on more fans as well. But we're able to smudge and bless ourselves and bless the people in the home and wherever we are, you know. And send up our prayers to the Creator, to the great mystery. And there's different type of feathers, you know. There's turkey feathers here. We have parrot feathers. So we work on all with natural, wood, feathers, you know, and cordage. And we work with different things that are natural, like this here. We have, you know, the foot of one of our totem bird, and horsehair, and leather, and all these, you know, things that I try to work on. These here are some armbands that are done from the small parrot feathers, which we wrap around the arm like that. So this is the type of work that I do. I'm also been working with wood and bamboo, and over here this is a piece that I'm working on, which is used a lot in the Caribbean and South America for different medicines, and it's a snuff blower. And so I have here a shell and different leather and feathers from the Amazon bird, you know, the Amazonian, and we're able to do this and send up the different medicines and snuff, which sometimes I do on my painting as well. You know, I will blow that tobacco on that paint when it's still wet. You know, and you know, we start with a simple piece of wood, bamboo, and hollow it out, and then we start applying all these different things to it. So, working on some feather items right now. In particular, I'm working on a new fan, and so we're taking these feathers here. These are feathers from the macaw, tail feathers, and we're wrapping them up in leather. And I did a workshop or two, and that's how I'm learning how to do this from some of my other relatives and friends. And when this fan is finished, it will be quite a bit of feathers. You know, it'll probably be 28 feathers or more. And it's called a drop fan. And we'll wrap this leather like that, and then we're gonna wrap it with one big cordage of leather. And when we use it in ceremony or however we use it, you know, it'll be a drop fan, which just kind of drops like this, and the feathers take a life of their own. When we use it, pray with it, and we'll be able to also use it in dance and different ceremonies. So yeah, this is the latest thing that I also like working on with the feathers and stuff like that, you know. Again, you know, this has all been a healing for me, you know. One time I couldn't feel my fingers, you know, I couldn't feel what I'm doing. So, you know, as an artist, I'm really grateful for having this in my life. I'm an art handler, also able to put up the artworks in galleries and help people and assist people with stretching canvases today, and transporting art, wrapping it up for transit, and you know, really grateful to be able to do that. One of the things about you know, my tribal way with Taino, we belong to what we call a Yucayeke community. Maishiti Yucayeke Taino. I'm really grateful for my family and my brothers and sisters and friends that are part of the Yucayeke, Maishiti Yucayeke Taino. We've been around for 25 years. We just celebrated last week in a grand areto. And some of the artists from our organization were there, and I'm really grateful and humble, and I like to end with a song here. I like to play a song, and our people didn't have these drums, you know. This is skin drums here from the north, but our people use live drums. But you know, we can adapt to where we live today and use those things where we are. This song is a song by the Arawak Mountain Singers. It's a song to ward off the huracan spirit, you know, and it's used as a Brown dance, fellowship song. Huracan wa Yuki-Yuhan. Huracan wa Yuki-Yuhan. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey yo. And I just like to end with a prayer, you know, in a good way, and say, the kahu bagwa marokoti, itiba kahubaba, atabeira, pomatum, guari, pomatum, guarwe, pomatum, guayucayeki, gua aiko, gua bohio. Seneco cacona, guará, nitus, nateao, nitus, araco, el aroco, guali. Seneco cacona, hang hang, katu, rahu.